What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome on into the show. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I'm gonna go over 5 hot takes I got for the 2025 Bulls season. Bull season. A lot of these are pretty bold here, so stay tuned. But before we give you guys my 5 hot takes, you guys just got to give me one here. Give me a hot take for the Bulls 2025 season. You guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Get creative for me, and give me a Bulls hot take for the 2025 season. All right, so number one here, I'm going to go Josh Giddey makes the All-Star team this upcoming year in the Eastern Conference. Now, I think this for 2 reasons. One, what Josh Giddey did post All-Star break last year and the performance he had, almost averaging a 21-point triple-double. But also, 2, the Eastern Conference is going to be one of the worst conferences we have possibly seen in recent memory in the NBA. And if Giddy can replicate a 21 damn near 11 board, damn near 10 assist season, like that's a for sure all-star bid. And if we look at the all-star guards in the Eastern Conference this last season, Damian Lillard, well, now he's out for the year with the torn Achilles, may not even be in the Eastern Conference. Now, Jalen Brunson will for sure be there. You can lock him in. Same with Cade Cunningham. Tyler Hero could be a question mark. Same with Darius Garland, even though I'd anticipate Garland to make the team. But you also got Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young. I think both those guys are a lock. But I think the question is, can Giddy take Lillard's spot? And I think the answer to that is, if he replicates what he did post All-Star game last year, he will have a very, very good chance to do so. Now, we saw Giddy's uptick really become so prevalent because the Bulls traded Zach LaVine. So his usage rate, his shots per game just skyrocketed after that LaVine trade. And, also post All-Star break, the Bulls, Giddy was really the one guard that remained healthy. Like Iowa was out for the year. Trey Jones missed some time as well. So Giddy had the ball in his hands a whole lot. But if he can do what he did during the last 19 games this season, even if it's just let's just say he averages 18, 9, and 9, I could see that being enough to get an All-Star game nod. And plus, if somehow if the Bulls are flirting with that play-in tournament again, I think there's a really good chance he's an All-Star this upcoming season. And then number 2, not even a hot take. I shouldn't even included this, but I just want to talk about my guy Boozy here. Matas Buzelis takes a leap, and I think he's going to take a significant jump. Now, if you look at his raw numbers from last year, only averaged 18 minutes a game, around 10 points. It's nothing really to write home about, but we saw some flashes. Now, I do have 5 things I want to see from Boozy this upcoming season, and maybe we'll see it in the Summer League, even though I think he's probably going to play very limited action. I could see him either playing the first 2 games and he's out for the rest of the Summer League season in Las Vegas. But I want to see him add a back-to-the-basket game. This guy's 6'10". He's starting to add some good size on his frame. And also, he's an underrated playmaker. He can see over the top of the defense. If he can get a back-to-the-basket game where if you leave him one-on-one, he's killing that guy. And then if you send a double, he'll just make that extra pass, get the defense in rotation. So that's something I want to see. And, the improved jumper here, secondly, I love his jump shot. He's got a very consistent release point at the top of his jumper. He's got a really solid base as well. Now, I kind of want to see this off the dribble a little more, especially from downtown. Didn't really see that too much, but I think his jumper is just going to be a repetition thing because he has solid form, great release point, and a solid base, which are the 3 things I look at when evaluating jump shots. So if he can improve that jumper, I think that would be huge. And also, I just want to see the ball in his hands a lot more. And that should have happened now that there's a full season with no LaVine. And also, if the Bulls decide to trade Kobe White, he should have just a higher usage rate, be a better playmaker, come off those pick and rolls a lot more, which is also something we should see in the Summer League. And, I talked about the bigger frame. It's kind of got that capital T build, super broad shoulders, comes in really tight around the hips. It's easy for him to add muscle on his build. So once that happens, it'll add some more physicality getting to the basket, which we already saw it in certain spots, but he was more of a finesse attacker to the rim. But I want to see him just get a shoulder into a guy, be able to use his length to go up over the top. And then also, I think this would be maybe not something this year, but eventually in his NBA career, an improved midi game. And I think the mid-range game, I don't even want to say it's back because it never really left, because still once postseason time rolls around, these guys in the NBA, it's all about getting to your spots. So I want to see Buzelis, and maybe that comes with having a bigger frame. You can get to those bump fades a little more. Also connects to the back-to-basket game. If you could have some, maybe a little poor man's LeBron from that, low block spot, I think that would be huge. But in terms of Boozy having a bigger frame, he posted this on his Instagram story. Dude's looking absolutely yoked. So he's been in the gym this offseason, which is great news. And again, this was never an issue for me. You could tell this guy was going to be able to put muscle on very, very well. So I think Boozy's going to take a big leap. And you guys always get on me for being negative here on the show, and I'm going to be negative here for my 3rd hot take. The Bulls remain in purgatory. I think the Bulls have a really good chance to replicate what they were the last 3 seasons. And just looking at the records over the last 5 years, like, my stomach is turning right now. This makes me sick. This makes me cringe. Like, won 31 games back in 2020. You had that great year when you made all those offseason additions of DeRozan, Lonzo, and you were able to win 46 games. Obviously, once Lonzo went down, that whole season um, just got thrown out the window. But the last 3 years have been rough. 40 wins and then back-to-back seasons with 39 wins. And I have a very strong and bad feeling that the Bulls will be 39-43 for a third straight season, and they'll be the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference play-in tournament. I hope I'm wrong. I'm honestly hoping the Bulls get the 6th seed. I would rather have them be better than worse, but you just got to escape that purgatory, man. It's the worst spot to be in the NBA because when you're in that purgatory zone, you can't get a top 10 pick. You can't also compete for championships. Like, I know it's bad in the NFL to be in purgatory. It's bad in every sport, but especially in the NBA when it really comes down to just finding that one guy, that true number one option. And we look at other teams who have turned their franchises around. Paolo Banchero, like Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, Anthony Edwards being the number one pick for the Minnesota Timberwolves, even the Thunder getting like Chet at number 2 and also Jalen Williams at 12. Like, sometimes you have to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, and hopefully the Bulls recognize that, but I just got a bad feeling it's going to be purgatory for a third straight season. But if you guys want the Bulls to escape purgatory, finally get out of that disgusting play-in tournament, give me a me down below in the comment section. You guys should fill it up down there. So if you want the Bulls to escape purgatory, type those me's down below. Now we'll get to 2 more hot takes here in a second. But if you guys want to get some Bulls merchandise today, hit that link in the comment section and description of today's show, chatsports.com/Bulls combo. We got a 2 t-shirt pack going for $29.99 right now. Normally, these are $49.99. So if you guys want to take advantage of this deal, that's the link, chatsports.com/Bulls combo. Now, number 4 for me, I do think the Bulls will eventually trade Coby White, but I don't think it's going to be before the start of the season. I think this is going to be a trade deadline move for Chicago where they're finally just going to cut bait and say, hey, we got to get what we can for Coby White. But I also believe this. I think the Bulls should trade Coby White before the season. And I think they are going to wait a little too long, trade him at the deadline, just like they did with Caruso, DeRozan, LaVine, and Lonzo. And I cannot wait to see the graphic when it's like all the first-round picks the Bulls got for Coby White, Caruso, DeRozan, LaVine, Lonzo, and it's going to be a big old goose egg in terms of the total first-round picks they got. I bet you they trade Coby White for another player, and there's really no other picks they get back because that's just how the Bulls have been wanting to orchestrate their roster this past couple of seasons, but hopefully it changes, man. Hopefully it changes. But also, lastly, and I'm going to call a lot of you guys out of here on today's show, fans remain delusional. Now, I got kind of suckered in last year. After Giddy hit that half-court shot against the Lakers, like, I felt like my Bulls fandom starting to come back out, and it was awesome. But I'm calling it right now. The Bulls, for a third straight year, are going to have a strong month of March. And fans will be claiming this team can go on a run during the playoffs, just like you guys were last year. People were in my comment section saying, oh, dude, you're always talking about tanking. Look at this Bulls team. We've won 10 games in March. Holy cow, we could go on a run this season. Then what happened? We lost in the play-in tournament for the against the Heat for a second straight year. So, fans, if you want change, stop going to games. How awesome would it be? Imagine the home opener. And listen, I don't want this for the players. This would be very disappointing for them, but could you imagine the United Center, 50% attendance, game 1, opening night? That would be awesome. Please stop going to games because Jerry, he's just content with being in the play-in tournament. He doesn't care about you. I think the biggest kind of evidence of that we saw was the Bulls trading down in the second round of the 2025 NBA draft. And they got Jerry Reinsdorf, favorite draft prospect. They got $2 million from the Lakers. Think about how crazy this is. The Bulls are a rebuilding team. At least everybody else knows it. Maybe the Bulls front office doesn't know it. They're a rebuilding team, and when you want to have a strong rebuild, you got to draft well. The fact that the Bulls were okay with moving down 10 spots to get $2 million in cash, I think that's ludicrous. That is something that a team who is contending does, because also the Lakers, they jumped from 55 to 45, and then they jumped to 45 to 35. Well, who was that other team that traded down? It was the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Bulls are not the Minnesota Timberwolves, so I thought that was a joke, but again, that's just Jerry Reinsdorf. This is his favorite draft prospect. All he cares about is money. He is like Mr. Krabs, and he just drives me up a wall. But, all right, that was enough of my therapy session today. See, again, I just get fired up when I'm talking about this basketball team. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, give me a C red down below in the comment section. And also hit that subscribe button on your way out. We keep you guys posted with everything around your favorite basketball team and help us reach 13K here on the show. See you guys next time. Go Bulls.